What is a breath? Where does it come from? A breath? Oh, that's a good question. So, your being is operating in a physical manner, a solid manner. Your being has a solid state. Your being has a liquid state, and it also has a gaseous state. All right. Breathing is movement, is interaction with the gaseous state. There's not only oxygen in the air. The air is composed of like so much. It's not just oxygen. So we just call it energy. In the East, in the spiritual world, we just call it energy. We call it prana, the breath, or chi. So the reason why you want to breathe and harness the breath and the being is because this is how you can harness all energy. Your solid state is like food. You know what I mean? Your solid state is like the physical here. The liquid state is your thoughts more so, how you feel. It's the heart zone. The heart is literally a pump. That's what it is as an organ. It's a pump. And all the heart does is pump. And it creates and generates this giant field. We think from here. It has neurons. Most of our perceptions and thoughts and reality is here. We live in the heart. However, the brain is perceiving a lot of these electrical impulses. The brain is primarily ran off of oxygen. When you stop breathing and you stop breathing right, the first thing to suffer is your brain in a physical form, the brain. So when you do a full breath, right, to where you're filling up this zone, it's not just a zone, it's called a diaphragm. You're filling up the diaphragm, you're making use of your diaphragm. Your body is meant to house and store a certain amount of energy. If you can cycle that energy while it's in you, and start to move it while it's in you, that's the spirit flowing through the body. It's Kundalini. The first place that you may have to alchemize energy, because it's in a solid state, like you poop from here, like from your root chakra, it's solid down here. So the first place of alchemization from solid to anything spiritual is usually in a sexual reproductive zone, because you're taking energy that is more so solid. It's between liquid and solid because it's in this space, and you're choosing which way you want to go with it. If you choose to release it, you can put it out there. Or for a woman, deliver a whole baby through this root area. This is a solid space. As you move up, it becomes more liquid. And as you move even higher, it becomes more gas. Gravity doesn't exist. It's called pressure. Air pressure. It's pressure. It's levity and gravity, right? It's just high pressure and low pressure. That's what makes a bullet shoot out of a gun too. It's not gravity. It's pressure. And your being, the ways your organs are set up, is they're pressurized. Being a piezoelectric being, breathing shifts the pressure. Your insides are dancing around when you breathe properly. They're being locked into the place where they're supposed to be. It's all healthy, it's a good thing. But when you're not even breathing right, you're not even interacting with your own insides. On a physical level, on a piezoelectric level, you're not able to activate your pineal gland because you won't breathe right. Pineal gland will breathe with you. Worried about decalcifying it, you're not even using it because you're not even breathing yet. Except for when you sleep. When you sleep, you breathe properly and your pineal gland is active and you dream, don't you? What happens when you breathe properly for a long time? You channel. You dream. You heal. That's what sleep is. It's a moment for us to breathe. It's where we let the conscious mind stop sabotaging ourselves and we let the body heal how it's designed to. And then we wake up, and then we start breathing like shit again. Because we're detached. So, how do you breathe? Use your diaphragm. Your diaphragm works with the pressure in your entire being. Pull that oxygen into your whole being. Feel it. Try to clench this area. Clench it. There's a reason for that. It's called the perineum. Clench that area, and then you'll realize, this is why I didn't know how to cycle the energy they were talking about. Breathe, tighten the perineum, and you'll realize that the energy will not drop. The energy will not go away. It's actually caught here, stuck right here. The energy's like caught right here. From this space, you can start to pull it and move it into your being. Inner alchemy work. You can create an orbit of energy cycling through your own being, a microcosmic orbit. Healthy. Where you're feeling the depths and the details of all the energy in your own being. This is why I say, yeah, you have 5 senses, but you're probably not even using them yet. Because your spirit isn't even in your body. Your spirit's over there, your body's over there, and your mind is over here. Confused, disoriented, disconnected in one way or another. Whereas the spirit, right? The physical state, the frequency of the body being alkaline, and the heart and the mind being focused, the intention to grow, to heal, to become better, to connect to your highest version of yourself. When these 3 things are in alignment, I mean, that's what it's like. If your body's vibrating at a high frequency and it's alkaline, the reflection of that in thoughts is love. And the reflection of all of those 2 things in spirit is your higher self. So if you want your higher self, your body is going to have to resonate on that frequency. So it will be alkaline. It will be healthy. If you want your body to be healthy, then your mind and your perspective, you have to make the right decisions. You got to magnetize to the right things. You got to make sure that you are telling yourself these are the things you want to do so that your body can at least vibrate right, so spirit can then be present with you. Spirit's still present with you, but what frequency of it? Somebody said it. Shit, demons are spiritual too. Is that a background picture? No, I live here. In my house. We're going to do retreats here. This is just a small room. This is just my personal space. When you see the space that I have for everybody else, it's just... I'm doing it big. I'm doing it better than, I've seen a lot of people do it. Oh, I've left something out. So this is usually my mushroom mix vegan protein drink. I cheated this time a little bit. I put a little bit of coffee in this one. Usually this is composed of chocolate vegan protein, natural organic peanut butter, coconut milk and coconut cream. I love that combo with just some a little bit of water to thin it out. I like it thin, like a drink. And mushroom mix, chaga mushrooms, reishi mushrooms, turkey tail, cordyceps, lion's mane. So all of these different things are in here, and I just put it all in the blender. Oh, there's also honey from Guadalajara and bee pollen that I grind up and I blend. So this is bee pollen, honey, vegan chocolate protein powder with no soy, and the mushroom mix. Oh, coconut milk, this is just shit, bro. And I make batches of these. I like to prep batches of these. I use these with my workouts. So usually around 12 o'clock, I'll start drinking one of these. It'll be it'll probably be post or pre-workout at that time. But either way, I put a little bit of coffee in this one. So it's going to give you that little extra spark. Oh, hold on. I'll answer that question. Hold on. In the grand scheme of things, no, eggs are not healthy for you. Can you eat them? Yes. In the grand scheme of things, do you have to eat any meat at all in your life? No. Can you? Yes. Can you eat no fruit and no vegetables for your whole life? Should you? No. Can you? Yeah, you could do that. You know, you could die from getting hit by a truck. You could die from, you know, whatever. Anything can happen. So it's like, my question to you is, are you proud of your decisions? Are you proud of your decisions? Or are you like Cypher in the Matrix eating the fake steak and you think you're proud of your decisions? Those weren't your decisions. You are a part of the plan now. You were not sovereign. You gave your soul away. You don't want to be that. So the question is, are you proud of yourself? And are you proud of your actions and what you're doing? And why would you be making the selections in food or drink that you would be making? I can tell you why I select the things that I select. Because of how it makes me feel. And how I respond and how I act and how I treat people afterwards and during. What's up, sweet? You're deaf? So you could type, though. That's cool. Can you read lips? That's cool. Bigo has such a unique community. I love the Bigo community. I love the diversity of the Bigo community. I love how I can get on here and talk straight knowledge and I can be super mega nerd, or I can get on here and just dance around and have fun. It don't matter. It's like Bigo is cool. Like, I like Bigo. I just, you know, the rules, they really ain't that bad. You gotta have a shirt on. Oh, well. Like, golly. He's cool, bro. I like Bigo. So we about to switch into the next thing. Like, I could sit here and do my yoga. I can go to the gym and work out and just have Bigo on. You know, I like Bigo for these reasons. And also Bigo, like, there's so much people who are affiliated with astrology on here. Like, talking about astrology on here is so much, like, more useful. I don't know, maybe it's because I have them tied. I guess it goes to, like, right here. But you don't need to deal with that. Mind you, hey, you ain't even gonna come touch it. You ain't gonna come touch it, you know? Hit my DM. I'm playing. Man, I haven't had sex in a minute. I haven't had sex in like 7 months. Like 7 months. You know what I'm saying? I will say though, life is really good. And I may want to have sex, but it's just like, whenever the woman comes around with the opportunity, it's like, I just like, the energy just, I'm like, yo, I would be settling. I don't want to even get tied up with a woman that's, I at least think is high frequency. You know, if I know you ain't high frequency, but you cute, I ain't not necessarily going to do it. And it's not saying that you have to be high frequency or super knowledgeable or super mastered for me to deal with you, right? More so what it is that you have to just be a positive person with a good heart. That I don't care how much you know, anybody can do that. You actually started off that way. Babies, you all started off that way. You know, so I just want someone who wants to go in the direction I want to go in life. You know what I'm saying? I want someone like to where it's not just sex. I only know you, and me and you only talk when I need to get a nut. I don't like that. That's just not for me. I'm not saying it's wrong. Y'all do you, and you can make it work for you very well. But I practice tantra, so it's hard for me to just get any old partner, any old person, and then have a tantric experience with them. I can do it because that involves you connecting to yourself. However, it's just not complete. It's not fulfilled. So as much as I would love to go and have that pleasure, I'd rather masturbate. I'd rather be at home and masturbate, trying not to come all the time. I'd rather do that if I need that pleasure. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I want to do that with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Even if we get along, I'm telling you, like, you could be bad, you could be beautiful, all those different things. It don't matter to me. Like, that's not why I have sex. That's not how I have sex. That's not what's important to me when I have sex. You know what I'm saying? I want a partner who's gonna use her energy to be like, I'm about to elevate the fuck out of it. At least she's thinking shit like that. Or the energy, like, I'm about to give him everything or something like that. I don't know. Like, just some type of intention into it. More than just whatever be on people's minds when they have sex normally. Like, if I told y'all what I think about when I'm having sex, like, you guys would be like, damn. Oh, wow, you guys have been messaging me on IG. Oh, okay, you guys are in here. That's good. I want y'all in here. Yeah, I want to be more over here. Playa del Carmen, I'm getting more places. Oh, somebody must be... Oh, okay. You're emailing me about... Perfect. All right, got you. Okay, you... Beautiful. All right, Black Power, I got your message. I'll be going through that soon then. Now I know that you guys are indeed interested and would like to start getting involved. I'll be here for you. Yeah, I live in Playa del Carmen. I live in Mexico. It's very beautiful out here. Currently, I think, I'm doing my retreats out here, setting up retreats out here. I am eventually looking to hire somebody to run the retreats, to trust somebody to stay and live in the spot, or whatever the case, and just facilitate the retreats there. I want to be a part of the first ones in the beginning, but I do want to travel. I do want to go to Puerto Rico again. I do want to go to Thailand, and I want to go to Asia and Paris. I want to go to all these places. So London, I want to go there. So I'm a nomad. I'm a digital nomad, and so I want to set things up everywhere. So the facility that we're hosting retreats at, when I'm not hosting retreats there, I'll be Airbnb-ing it. Okay, that provides a lot of money for me, and it does a lot to where I can move on and do the same thing somewhere else. And I can keep setting up these retreats, these soul redemption retreats in key locations, and make sure everybody gets it. I mean, if you're in the States, you can't leave the States. We could do Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? If you flying to Puerto Rico is just not even a thing too. We could do Texas. You see what I'm saying? It's possible. We got spots in Cali, Hawaii. I know I got Hawaii on my back. I ain't even hit them up, but I know if I did, Hawaii would be a thing. You know what I'm saying? I want to do Bali, Thailand, India. I've never been there, so I don't know. And then I would like to do London. I want to go to London. So trade the London market. I just kind of want to go over there. But I'm not in a rush. I do want to travel the world. I'm not done. I want to go to Colombia. I want to go to Argentina. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be dope to set things up in these places as well. I find out I'm very welcome in foreign locations. I'm very welcome in the world. As long as, because my mindset, my heart, I'm good everywhere I go because of my mindset and my heart. I will be accepted. I will be allowed. And there's not certain cities and countries where you gotta have this low vibration as a requirement. Never. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a star on this. Yeah, man. This was a great live. It was a great, cool message right there. You know what I'm saying? Is there any questions y'all want to ask? You must be bored. I'm not bored at all. I love this. I love this. I think that you're saying I must... Like, could you tell me why you think I must be bored? I don't know why you said that. That's weird. I don't know where you... Are you being mean, or is that a real inference? Are you just being mean and rude, or is that an actual inference? And if it is, I'd like to know what your context is. Oh, by the way, I know I'm fucking smart, and I'm not gonna stop. Tired of people saying, you too smart for your own good. You too dumb for your own good. What I know is basic. I'm not that smart. Just fucking connected. I'm aware. I'm conscious. I'm not smart. Like, I'm conscious. I can figure it out. I can find the answer. You guys don't need to be smart. You need to have a heart. No, now I'm just taking my first. Oh, this is my second one. Now I'm gonna be smoking. He's high. Oh no. You must be bored to come back on Bigo. No, actually, anybody who goes live or anybody who influences on social media would be wiser to do the same thing on Bigo. Because why? Bigo's gonna pay you faster and sooner and give you way more attention than YouTube. Bigo's gonna pay you and do things better for you than Twitch. These are things you gotta bring your own communities. Even the kick deals, the people that are getting hella money off of kick deals, you have to bring your own community there. Bigo is like, it is a community. All of Bigo is like a community, and we go to each other's rooms all the time. We shift through frequencies all the time on this app. Like, I love this app because I can be high vibrational and high frequency, and then I can go in another room and we can be on some other stuff. You can go in another room and do some other stuff, and it's like, this is my room, right? But when I go to another room, it's like, I show respect over there. I gotta, respect that domain. And I actually appreciate being able to do that. It is getting to know people, finding different parts of myself, through this app is awesome. I love Bigo for many reasons, but it's because of how I use it. And I can screen record these and keep these and then put them on YouTube. So that's what I'm doing. This is getting put on YouTube. And so what I'm doing, I'm not technically a host on this page, but I go live every day anyway for free. So I'm just going to record them and put them onto my own platforms. And it's really the information that's coming out that is really important to me. The money, if anything, is going to come from my other businesses and stuff like that. I will be harnessing Bigo and the Bigo money and all that stuff eventually. But that's all in play. That's all happening. It's just priorities, right? So I could be definitely getting money off of Bigo. We can be doing the PKs. It's the first of the month. It's the top of the month. It would be a great time to get started. I'm just going to be here to get started here. I might start hosting in December. And the retreats, we'll probably do Bigo live things before the retreats. Y'all probably see the retreats on there. It's probably going to look a lot like Carbonation, but it's not. It's everything that they claim that was supposed to have happened that didn't. Getting up every day, actually doing real spiritual work. Actually figuring out how we can build and develop our businesses and our services to the world so that we don't have to beg for money. How to use the stock market. How to make use of the system that we're in rather than running from it, hiding from it, and ignoring it. I got people on my team who have completely gone through all of the sovereignty on paperwork things, and I'm like, bro, like, these people are going way past me on the paperwork, on sovereignty and stuff like that. But they can help me do it. They can help you do it. It's great. It's a community. I'm not here to do everything by myself. I'm here to bring people together. Are you going to be doing daily classes? Are you going to have daily classes on Bigo? Not like that until I'm a host. When I'm a host, I might do that. But when I feel like going live, I might go live on here, and I'm going to record it and probably put it on YouTube. If I'm not going to teach like that, or I'm going to vibe, or it's going to be drama, I might not save it. I might not record that. But the Magic Muse YouTube is going to be going now. I've realized that the trolls, all they have done is posted us for years. That's all they did. They posted us for years, so I'm just going to post me for years. Like, I'm going to screen record my shit. I'm going to post my own stuff. And it's crazy that we did all this for another man. I'm going to do all this for myself. Ooh, you cut the locks. So you just got here, Sublime. Yeah, I cut them a minute ago. I cut them months and months ago. Go check out my IG. It should probably like my first page. I have a live. I'm cutting my locks live, if you haven't seen it. I'm cutting my locks live. I'm crying. Doing all of that. It was very powerful, a very powerful, beautiful moment for me. I'm pretty sure I kept it on my page. Yep. I kept it on here. Appreciate that. I'm about to show you right here. Hold on. You can see it on IG. It's at the very bottom. This one. Yeah, so you guys can go to my IG and check that out. It's right here. This was a pretty deep one. I ain't gonna cap. Now, that I have lost everything, I can gain everything that is for me. Everything that I have is a blessing to radiate my love. So I'm saying an affirmation. I'm saying something. I am enough. I'm saying affirmations as I cut. I love what I see when I look in the mirror. I'm saying affirmations as I cut each lock. I'm removing. I love what I see when I look in the mirror. I'm removing and I'm replacing. Every one of those locks, I'm just removing something, like, you know what I'm saying, something deep. I'm letting something go. I put myself and God first, because that is who has always been there for me. God has always been there for me. While I've been there for everybody and nobody's been there for me, God has been there for me. Every time. Non-stop. I will only give myself what is in alignment for me. Oh, God. I am grateful for my now. So y'all can go over to IG and check that out if you want. That was a really good video. It's pretty long. There's 2 videos I did with that. That was a very suicidal point in my life. When I did that, so it was either cut the locks or cut something else. You know what I'm saying? So I cut my hair, and it wasn't because I'm like a suicidal person. It's the fact that I don't like that I would even have the thought. The fact that I would even have the thought of like, what's the point of living, bro? The fact that people can get so hurt to the point to where they don't even want to be here anymore. And I was experiencing that. And it's like, I don't want to act on this. I'm trying to find everything that I can do rather than have those thoughts. I even started asking for help. And you know what? When I asked for help, you need help. What the fuck you think I'm asking? You know what? It got to the point to where I did have to call counselors. I did have to call the lifelines. And I had to call counselors and stuff. I was that alone. Certain people had called me and they came in at beautiful times I've never met, but they somehow knew everything that was going on and they was just there for me like angels. And then my mother, she came up to me. My mother came up to me and she started saying, I'm not your mother. I'm not your mother. I'm not your mother. You're not my son and I'm not your mother. She came up to me just saying that. And the lady on the phone, she was like, it's okay. I'm your mother. She's your earth mother. She brought you here. I'm your real mother. I'm your spiritual mother. You know why? Because I'm going to act like it. And I'm here for you. And it's this old woman I've never talked to before on my phone who's been watching me for years happened to call me at the right time saying, hey, this is your spiritual mama. Right when my mother comes out saying, I'm not your mom. I'm not your mom and you're not my son. She heard it on the phone. And it was crazy because she had already said she was my spiritual mother. She said, don't worry about that. Yeah, that's your earth mom. I'm your spirit mom. And it was crazy because you don't have to say that's true or false or whatever. It was needed in that moment. In that moment, I was able to talk to her. I was able to connect with her. I was able to just say simple things and realize, bro, I'm not crazy. I am in a toxic environment. I am around toxic people. Even the counselors on those lines are like, bro, you need to get away from your family. They're making it worse. They're not helping you. You can't stay around there. They told me to leave. They said get away from my family. You shouldn't. No, you have to go out. You have to leave out of there. You need to be around somewhere that's supportive. You go find somewhere. Do you have any friends? Anyone you can call? Anywhere you can go with someone that is going to listen to you and be supportive? Niggas gotta hire that. Niggas gotta pay for that now. You can't get that from your parents. You can hardly get that from your lovers nowadays. There's a reason why I don't date around. The reason why I'm not chasing them anymore. chasing, as a magnet, chasing something, but further repelling it because it's on another frequency. But if as a magnet, I'm chasing what's for me, it's not even going to feel like a chase. It's going to be instantaneous. The moment you recognize what's really, really, really for you, it slides to you like a north and a south magnet. You go towards it, it zooms to you. I want her. I want them, my family, my real soul tribe. Like, yeah, you know, it's unfortunate that a lot of people may never have a certain relationship with their parents, or even their partner, or their partner in dealing with that, and their partner and their parents. And so it is kind of sad sometimes. So we have to make sure as humans and as a community that we pull up for each other for support when we feel like somebody's making mistakes, rather than making it worse by adding our negativity from there, because we're not receiving the support for maybe what we need. And we project that by adding more pain into the world. Bringing the rest of the world down isn't going to bring you up. It might make you feel more comfortable for a moment, but people need your help. They don't need your hurt. So if you know somebody that you could be there for, you might not know the whole story sometimes. And something that seems like a small little problem, it might seem like someone's overreacting, you might not realize what's behind it all. It should always move like that. You can go around, step on everybody's shoe. They all gonna respond differently because they all going through something differently. They are ready to deal with you in different extremes. Some are ready to forgive you. Some have already knocked you out. It's a myriad of different things. Just know that how you treat people sets the tone of how people treat you. Troll, get ready to be trolled. Lover, get ready to hear and feel some love. Player, get ready to be played. And hoes and players and hoes, y'all both playing the same game together. Y'all just realize you both on team trauma, and it's better over here. And y'all comfortable. So a lot of y'all polygamous relationships, they really be pimping, hoeing, and different situations where y'all can stay in your traumas together. But there are polygamous and polygyny situations where, you know, they are truly building at a higher degree. And I see it all the time. A lot of them are offline. I will tell you that too. A lot of the successful polygamous or polygyny couples I'm aware of, they are offline. And it's really beautiful to see that they're busy, they're cultivating, they're working. You know, they really are. They're doing something beautiful. I could only imagine what's going on at their home. They're thinking about their children, curriculum, schools. They're building things for the communities. That's what they own, and I think that's better than the people who are just trying to get fame or popularity or pleasure or just having money and just trying to have a good life off of the poly lifestyle. When the poly lifestyle is like so much deeper than that. It's about generational wealth. It's about building the mind and the community so that all of the children that we end up having can be in a beautiful space, can be protected, not just by me, not just by their mothers, but by the community, so that they can be a part of the community. So you shouldn't be in a polygamous, polyamorous relationship and being toxic with the world or be low vibrational in the world, because everything that you have will eventually be destroyed anyway. You're really not trying to build nothing. You really don't need that lifestyle or that setup. It's just pleasure. You guys are open dating. That's called an open relationship. That's not what you call it, real proper polygamy or polygyny. That's going to involve the community. Whereas you'll know the fake ones because they're not really worried about the community. They're just busy taking from the community. They're just busy trying to stunt, like not really building nothing, just living. And really you just surviving. You just got a lot of cheese. So What's the next level? Spirituality. True and real health. When you and your partners are together, or your one partner, which is just fine, and you guys are, man, I want fried chicken and mac and cheese today. That sounds good, but you know that's going to throw you off for a week, right? If I have to convince you of that, you're not my partner. I wouldn't be doing business with you. I wouldn't be having dinner with you. I would not lay with you. Not because you're a bad person, because you're not for me. You see, if I was poly or if I was monogamous, it doesn't really matter, because check this out. There's a woman for me. If I'm poly, there's a woman there for me that's going to be poly and going to support me in that. If I want to be monogamous, the woman's going to be like, I support you in this monogamous relationship. How are we going to do this? It doesn't matter to you what I am, and it shouldn't matter to me, you know, what your relationship status is and what works for you. That's in your, that you could be very well in alignment with your purpose, and that's just not my purpose. So the best thing for us to do is just to raise the frequency of whatever situation we're in, because that way, if we could all raise our frequencies, we can do completely different things but still interact. But even if we're doing the same thing, you're doing different things, or even if you're doing the same thing but our frequencies are different, we cannot interact. And if we do, somebody gonna have to shift or change. That's the real bridging of the gap, is frequency. It's not really work. Because once the work is being done, there's people who put in crazy work, but that doesn't change frequency. That affects the end product more than anything. Yeah, food is food is food. We make food. I don't care. As long as the food is made, it's there. It's food. No, nigga, we make high frequency food. We make high quality food. We don't just make clothes. We make high quality clothes. And there are people who just make clothes. And there are people who are in the level to where that's what they want. And that's where they cool with. Me personally, I want the best of everything that I can get. And if it's not the best off rip, I will wait and I will work to develop it. Rich Soul just popped in the room too. What's up? Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, man, yeah. Friendly reminder, daylight saving. Oh, daylight saving happened today. Okay, cool. I don't know what to do with that. Be myself. Oh, what's up, Sub? Sublime with the lion. Talk to me. Hey, and you're beautiful. What's up?
Hi. How you doing?
Oh, let me turn it up a little bit. Okay, go ahead.
Happy Sunday. Nah, I was just gonna say, am I echoing?
Can y'all hear her? I'm screen recording, so it might be a little quiet for me, so I'm gonna have to listen closer. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, can y'all hear
All right,
me?
go ahead. Say
If not, I'm gonna try to get my headphones. That's why I asked. Okay, you can hear me? All right. I wanted to say peace, what's going on? I haven't really kept a whole account of your whole journey, but I've been kind of watching everybody from the from the original carbonation, right? And I wanted to ask you how do you, because I noticed from the little I've seen of you is that you still keep a grounded perspective, and then you still keep it so, okay, let me ask you, how do you feel about the term the knowledge as you were taught in that environment? Do you have trouble keeping certain knowledge? Even that, sorry if that's triggering to say, but I'm trying to, do you get what I'm trying to ask?
I think that the issue that I've had from that, it's very interesting that you say that, because I talk about it more than anyone, I think, is that, and this is why I even was going to bring carbonation back at some point in time, because the truth is the truth. Unfortunately, there's all kind of people out here in this world who are taking high degree knowledge and abusing people with it. We see it all the time. The government does it. They use astrology, you don't. Well, maybe you do, but the average person doesn't. They use it for everything. Millionaires and billionaires, those are their consultants, is psychics. They don't need to hire analytical people and stuff like that. They don't need that. They need people to advise them in areas that they're not mastered in, and it's always spiritual. So knowledge is knowledge is knowledge. Anybody can do the right thing today. That's easy. It really is. We all already have all knowledge within us. I don't like to teach people knowledge anymore, and this is what I've learned: to stop teaching the knowledge completely. Like, you can unveil things and you can communicate and share your perspectives and stuff like that, for sure, and you can teach actual facts, sure enough. But I've learned that what's more important is, number one, that I actually connect to the source myself. And there's so many ways to do that. And that's what all of the knowledge is for. And then after that, all I can do for you is help you connect to the source for yourself. Because I can't connect to the source for you. I'm not going to tell you to come to me only for those messages. I'm going to tell you how to start getting those messages. I'm going to tell you how you can start being a prophet in your life and around in your life, and writing your own scripture. You write your own prophecy, which you about to live, and your family and your friends start to be influenced by you. You see what I'm saying? I'm like Pac. I'm like the guy who says, I don't need to make the change or be the change or any of that. But if I can blaze the trail for the person who does do that, by being a prime example, by living my life and doing my best, that was enough for me as far as results go. But even then, I don't care, because the reason why I did it was because I know I need to be connected to source. That was it right there. You finished right there. After that, it's infinite bliss if you choose. If you choose, like,
That's
you're
so
allowed to
dope.
forever have a good day, every day. You're allowed to do that. That's possible.
Yeah.
Every day's allowed to get better progressively forever. That's allowed.
It's so funny how, like, sorry, Bob, it's so funny how that's such a radical thought, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that things could work in your favor is a radical thought. Like, choosing to be positive amongst, physical evidence of everything else negative is a radical thought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's really, I appreciate that question, because I noticed it depends on who I ask. Like, I've asked a couple of original members, and it's because everybody's different, right? Everybody has gone through different things in their life that would alter the way they choose to see things. Um, and so it's like, some of them can't separate the two, like, you know what I mean? What's true because of the situation that y'all went through, right? And so it's very dope to see both.
I think that's dope too. I think it's interesting. I mean, and it's not just us. You're actually going to realize that we just had a pretty public situation. You're going to realize that, like, 80% of the people in this room probably got it worse, to be honest with you. And I was, at least, you guys saw us attempting to do the right thing. But the thing is, the average person isn't even doing that. So we failed trying to do something great. Most people haven't even started to try.
Big
And
facts.
that begins, with developing yourself. That begins with, and all you got to do is connect to the source. I'm telling you, like, don't worry about habits. Like, I'll still smoke, I'll drink socially. I'm trying to eat healthy because I want to feel good in the day. I want to be at my prime in the day. I want to be able to do what I need to do, what I have scripted and written out for myself. I want to accomplish my goals, so I want to be in a healthy space, and I know what it takes to do that for me. So, but I'm also aware that anything can happen in life. That's not being done so I can live longer. That's being done so I can live better. It's not being done so I can be compare myself to someone else. That's there so I can do what I know I need to do from what I'm connected to. You know what I'm saying? And it's all at a certain frequency. So I make these choices to maintain this frequency, because it's just the quality of life I'd rather have. If I start shifting that, right, and I can have the same things around me, but what would shift it is what? My frequency. Now I'm using the same things in a different way just to sabotage and destroy my life now. Same tools, different frequency. This is why it's important to heal. It's cliche, but there's really nothing else to talk about first.
You right. You're honestly right. I was thinking the other day, like, I'm so grateful I don't have kids yet, because I'm 33 right now. Hold on, let me get my headphones because I
Okay.
can hear the static. But
Okay. I'm only
I'm
doing this
33
because I'm
right now,
screen
and I'm
recording.
just You said what?
I'm only doing this like coming close because I'm screen recording, so the audio is different.
Okay, okay. Um, no, I was saying I'm 33 now, learning like about my own trauma on certain levels, and that if I didn't deal with that now, like I would not know how to help my child work through that. You know what I'm saying? I would unconsciously create certain traumas um, if I don't solve my own. And it's not cliche at all. I think that a lot of people are stuck not even knowing that they need to heal. The aftermath of their. Can you hear me better?
I think
Can you
I
hear me
say that
better
to
like this?
people. Okay, go ahead. I can hear you now.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't see. They see their trauma. Maybe they might see their reaction to trauma as just part of their personality. And granted, some parts will always be a part of your personality. But it's how you choose to see it.
Can I show you something real quick?
Yeah, let's go.
I could use a computer, whatever. So, a personality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can personalities be good or bad?
I don't even believe in the good or bad. That's a great question because good and bad is determined based on value, and that's based on intention. And everybody's intention is different, and it's not guaranteed that everybody's intention will match up with each other's unless they communicate about it.
Interesting. So personalities are neutral then.
In my opinion, they can be. Yeah, they can be neutralized. They can, but there's different polarities in this realm, right? So there's always going to be the quote unquote dark energy, quote unquote light energy.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put in another one. We're gonna do this one instead. And I'm glad you're saying this because I like to make things applicable to people. I want people to not just like, yeah, knowledge. I want people to be able to take it and start to make what is called as neuroplasticity. What I do is I make bridges and connections with people, usually through just words and communicating, and y'all don't realize that I'm subconsciously teaching you. You're learning, you're gaining it. It's not going anywhere. Because the way that I'm fulfilling it to you, I'm doing it in a form of connections, so you get to keep it. So here's another connection and example right here. So with what you just said, and I think this is genius. All right, so do you know what we're looking at right here?
Wait, I don't see it yet. I still see you. Hold on.
This is a personality. Okay.
Wait, I still see you. Okay. Oh yeah, I see. Oh my God. Wait, can I pause you real quick?
Yeah.
So, all right. So, True was the one who taught me how to read my chart, or he formerly known by True. Sorry, now he goes by Aaron. But yeah, I learned how to read this. Yeah. So yeah, I know mine.
So what do you see?
I see all the zodiac energy just in different places of your life, and you have to figure out how to read you so you understand you. So this is somebody's multiple personalities in one. That's how I would put it.
All of this is one personality. This is one person.
Correct.
It's one person.
Correct.
It's not multiple persons.
Correct.
It's one person. But this
But
one
that's
person
why I'm
has.
saying I read one person as multiple personalities within them.
This one person
fragmented,
is
yeah.
1, 2, 3 sets of 12 energies. What you have to understand is that you exist on 12 dimensions. This is not astrology. Astrology is not real. Astrology does not exist. These are glyphs and symbols deriving the forms that energy in the universe can take. There's 12 dimensions that we exist in. 360 is created from 12, or the dozen, or the Baker dozen, which is 13, and the 13th sign exists right here. And if you look in the sky, you can see it very clearly. It's the serpent. But it's the fusion of the two, so we can keep it at 12 because they don't really separate. This is a very special place for a reason. It's not telling you what's going on in the stars. It's telling you what's going around with energy. This is the cycle of energy. It's a cycle of energy. This is in forever motion. So what you have to realize is that you are like a crystal, and this is forever refracting in your being. And this is how energy flows through you. Okay? Do you know who this is?
Okay.
You don't know who this is, do you?
Nah.
All right. What about this one?
Mm-mm.
There are different
I honestly,
personalities.
even if I saw my own, I couldn't tell you off rip.
They're different crystals. They're different that, right? They're different personalities, different collections and organizations. So when this person thinks it's going to take a different path, then you can give the same thought to somebody else, but it's going to take a different path, right? And they're going to both express the same energy, but through them. And that doesn't make it right or wrong. So these are personalities. So is this going to be a good person or a bad person? Can we tell based off the personality?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. So right here, who we have with very beautiful, beautiful placements, we have Mr. Adolf Hitler.
Hitler. Yo, I would have never guessed that.
You know what's funny? Me and Hitler have a lot in common. We have damn near the same human design.
That's so interesting. But the direction that your personality is taking it is completely different.
It depends on, remember what I said, makes them the same. You can give both of these guys the same situation, the same everything. They personalities within it. You see what I'm saying? It's still all neutral. Expect them to respond differently. But what can these people do? Where does it get unique? If everything's neutral and everything's just okay, well then what are we doing? I'll tell you. This is the other chart we were looking at.
Ooh. Okay.
Great.
Interesting.
Completely different contributions to the world.
Yeah.
They both have interesting charts. Not anything too outlandish in either one of them. My daughter actually has a very similar chart to this one. So what makes them unique if everything is neutral? What is it? You know who would tell you? You know who would tell you? He would tell you. He would answer this easy. It's one word.
Wait, can I say a word before you say it?
Yeah.
Like what I think. If I could put it in one word, it would be my will. Like the will that I choose to exercise over my life, which is based on my desires and my needs.
You picked the right dimensions. You picked the right collection of dimensions. You picked the right dimensions. It's 2, 5, 8, and 11. Those are the willpower dimensions, but they all those dimensions 2, 5, 8, and 11, 2, 5, 8, 11 also represent something else, and this is one of his favorite words. You see, what we're trying to determine is if something is good or bad. How did they use their personalities, which is neutral? They're allowed to be them. The information they received is also neutral. What matters is what they do with it, right? So we're trying to figure out what is the vibration. How did they get that energy? What is the vibration, and why did they choose to make the energy vibrate like that? Well, there's one missing word here. Energy.
I'm excited, yeah.
Energy, blank, vibration. Energy,
hold on,
blank, vibration. It's not good or bad, but there is a ranking system.
Energy, blank, vibration.
Energy, blank, vibration.
I'm curious to hear what this is because I can't pinpoint the word that is going to be in between.
You see that line?
Oh, yeah.
This is a quite literal physical difference in vibration. You see, light is the vibration. Okay?
Okay.
This is called frequency.
Oh, yes.
You exist in all of this right now. But what you choose to experience is solely a frequency. This is a mood. This is another mood. This is another mood.
Fact.
But guess what? The personality is the same. This is not changing.
Right.
That's not changing. What can change?
Your
At
energy,
any
your
given
mood,
time,
yeah.
this can
Your
change. And
mood.
do you know what changes it?
Your thought. Right? Your
I'll
series
show
of
y'all
thoughts?
every day. I'll show y'all every day.
Oh, ooh, yo, that's my next tattoo. I actually just drew the Eye of Ra and the Eye of Horus. I just learned about like even the correlation with wait, which one is that?
They're the same. This is the Eye of Horus, but they're the same.
Okay. Okay. I why I like okay, when I was doing that research, sorry to cut you off, but like when I was doing that research, right, the Eye of Ra and the Eye of Horus, one is masculine and one is feminine. I always forget. But one
Correct.
is of the sun and one is of the moon. And then so basically I believe the
Ra is
moon
the
is the
sun, Horus
feminine.
is the moon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just interesting because the way that it correlates with right brain, left brain, the way it correlates with masculine and feminine traits is like the balance of both within ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's a very important symbol to me. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, pineal gland vibes. I already know. Yeah, I've seen that. There's a couple images I have in my phone actually that correlate with that. I'm excited to have this conversation with you because each one teach one, you know? Yeah, DMTC. Okay, I just literally recently drew out the molecule for melanin, and then I just found out that it has like 6 neutrons, 6 protons, and the other one basically 666. So it's certain information that's very interesting that correlates.
Correct. That's what this is.
Yeah.
This is also known as the brow chakra.
Okay.
The
Not the
thing
crown?
about I teach this stuff all the time. We're all dealing with energy. This is reality. This is a situation. These are neutral thoughts. And we're all a person. I mean, our bodies, they all pretty much operate the same too. So nothing is intrinsically good or bad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's completely relative. But deeper than that, if we're not going to say anything's good or bad, what happens once this process is complete? Well, we still have a choice. You got a choice. You can respond in a number of ways. You could respond from here. You can respond from here. A lot of people think that if you're going to have sex, you got to be over here. But you can have sex over here too.
And it's way better over there in the booth.
Well, this one's backwards. This one's going backwards. But yeah, it's way better on the higher frequencies.
Yeah.
And that's called Tantra.
Facts.
And do you know what Tantra is?
No, you can tell me in detail.
That area where I was telling you the 13th sign is, that serpent, well, as energy in the universe is cycling and there's certain patterns. And you ever get to that energy, that is a window and an opportunity for you. It's the 8. It's that's one of those portal energies. This is a window and an opportunity for you to connect to the other side.
Okay.
Sagittarius
like
and
the veil
Scorpio.
is thin type shit.
When energy's in this state, and usually it feels sexual and philosophical, they're usually right on the verge of each other. Tantra has a lot to do with, spiritual, philosophical things, morality. Those things are connected with your sexuality deeply. Okay, this is a portal area. This is an area where you can start to really connect to the other side. Now, this is where it gets scary with Scorpio, especially, and it being such a portal with Sagittarius right there. The thing is, this still exists. This frequency still exists. It ain't go nowhere. It's not good or bad, but this is blood, death, murder, fear, survival. This is the complete opposite: union, oneness, wholeness, completion,
Creation.
full understanding, empathy, sympathy, in every possible way. Now take those two different energies, right? Those two different frequencies, right? And let's take them to the same portal, right? And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. When they get to the portal, when they get to that gateway, where it's time to tap into spirit, I wonder what frequency they're going to be tapping into. This is what good and bad is all about. Are you channeling and are you sharing and exchanging with everything a high frequency or a low frequency?
Yeah.
They're not good or bad, but this does look like murder, death, and separation and survival. And moving from this space is very, very separated.
Yeah.
Whereas when you move from a higher frequency, you're moving with everything. You're like in flow with the whole universe. This is like trying to survive within it. It like thinks it's this one little thing. This is damn near one whole thing. It's like one. And when it raises high enough, it flatlines and it starts to look like a straight line. When it's actually just vibrating just really, really fast. Why am I showing you this? This is what the pineal gland does. That's what it does.
Okay.
That's why it's a key. That's why everybody got the same tools. We all got the same tools, but some people choose to use them a little differently.
You know what's wild is I want to say the biggest factor is the water. And I know that sounds to most people that would be like, oh my gosh, shut up. Like, no, it's the water that you drink literally is probably full of fluoride. And that shit will calcify the fuck out of your, you know what I mean? Your pineal gland.
Close.
So,
that's close. You're correct. 100% correct. But
it's a layer.
It's more.
It's only one layer. Yeah,
look,
no. It's only one layer. Like,
look at this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing that you can see that's calcifying the pineal gland? Let's see if you'll catch it. And I got it good. I got it light.
Sure
it's a beach over here. There's jungles and trees and birds and everything. I got it nice. So what's the first thing that you see here that's calcifying the pineal gland?
I'm going to let you tell me because I'm not catching it.
Anytime sunlight reflects off of concrete, it calcifies your pineal gland. Because of the frequency.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So all that concrete that you see and all of the sunlight you see refracting off of it is steadily calcifying your pineal gland. We did not make stuff out of this in the past. Wood is different. See my room? You see my room?
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah.
It's completely different. Hold on.
Yeah. Shout out to wooden floors.
So there's that. Here, let me show you one more thing. Here's another thing that's calcifying it. You see that tower over there?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, them waves, whatever waves that.
You see the towers behind it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now we're talking about real shit. Now we in the field. Now we targeting the ops. You see, there's nothing wrong with it
5G.
except for that this is prehistoric, barbaric ways of achieving this. There's way easier ways to do this with magnets and crystals. But instead, they do this where it distorts the field and it caps people from reaching higher frequencies. There's literally a energetic grid. There's a grid that you can't even see unless you're operating at a higher frequency. You'll see it at a high frequency every time. It's literally a geometrical grid. You'll see it just right over us like a blanket. And it turned on, I believe, in 18 something. Whenever they flipped the switch for the first radio tower, that's where it started. And ever since then, there's been a blanket over consciousness. So a lot of this is very recent. A lot of these things that are affecting us globally are recent.
Yeah.
GMO
you want to
food.
know? Can I share something with you? So I'm in Canada, right? And
this is the water you need, by the way.
What do you put it? It's red.
Watermelon. It's H3O2, not H2O. H2O
yes,
you don't need. H3O2 hydrates your cells.
Big fact. He not lying. You're not lying. So in Canada, right? So COVID started basically March 2020, but prior to that, I would say like October 2019 is when the first outburst was, right, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then over the course of like the next 6 months, it was interesting because I didn't find this out till like recently, but basically they had started to write in 5G infrastructure. Like they were putting up 5G towers and 5G technology.
All this is happening at the same time as COVID. Yep.
it was literally, they didn't even tell us about this shit. Okay, they wrote it into law, right? Because I have a law clerk diploma, so I be on that wave to where I'm like looking up legislation and shit like that, bills that are passing.
Oh,
but
wow.
they wrote that in and they snuck it under everybody. Like nobody even questioning none of that shit. Like why is there all this construction? And then because I walk so much, I would notice like steady every day I would just get headaches. I would get dizzy. I would get fatigued.
Notice they
like,
put the 5G towers in the hoods.
Bruh, it's ridiculous because it was like, you were absolutely right. They didn't put it in the bougie areas. They just put it in the areas where, you know,
Where niggas ain't gonna care.
Like, yeah, exactly. They're not gonna notice it. We don't have time to notice.
They're not putting it in the rich areas.
No.
I
no,
go
I mean,
there. They're
I think
not in the
they
rich
have it
areas at
now.
all.
Now they have it Soular because of like, you know, Tesla and their new self-driving cars. All that self-driving technology is 5G shit. So now there's, you know, there's different layers to it because, like, for example, even though this is the good part, right? Because people will be like, oh my gosh, they trying to get us with technology.
I gotta follow you.
But we wouldn't be able to have this conversation. Yeah.
I'm listening.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is this is the positive aspect, right? Is that you can make it. Life is what you make it. So you can use this shit for positive gain, and you can use it for that. You know what I'm saying? You can use it for selfish gain. You can use it for whatever the fuck you want to use it for. You know what I'm saying? It's just that you can't be in the game mad at other players playing it better than you. If somebody's playing life the way you want the way you want to play life, it's better to just be like, yo, what is you doing to get these results? Because, like, I'm trying to be put up on game. Like, let me learn something from you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when I first came up here, I asked you, like, I don't even know if you answered the question directly. I asked you how were you able to separate the traumatic experiences from the positive knowledge, you know what I'm saying? How did you pull? Because you pulled the positive out of that.
I answered it to a degree. I was just saying, you know, the truth is the truth. Knowledge is a knowledge. That you can always gain knowledge. The thing is, the point in which you're going to find yourself teaching people when you really have it, and this is how you know a real prophet is, you're going to teach them how to connect to source for themselves. That's how you use it.
Yeah, you did answer it.
Yeah, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to overthink about it because you're probably already coming from a program. So the best thing to do, knowing this, is to just reconnect to source and do what you need to do. There's no need to understand everything in the world. All you have to do is understand enough to be in flow with your world, to create and live and build in your world. So if you had none of these tools, you'd still have to do this. It's just awesome that we have these tools, but people are like, no, these tools are demonic and evil. I'm like, then don't use it.
Right,
then don't use it.
Right. But then you miss out. No, you miss out because how are you going to say, even the quote to where people say money is evil. Nah, money is not evil. The love of money can bring you to do evil in order to get it, but that's only if you feel like that's the only way to get it. And a lot of times, in my experience, I feel like, all right, so remember you said we coming from a program? That's fact, because there's this guy named Bruce Lipton. I'm pretty sure you know who Bruce Lipton is. But he put me on to the whole thought activates DNA, but also like most of our life being programming from our childhood. Ooh, feathers. Okay, what are you telling me?
I'm listening to you. I'm about to show you something, though.
Okay.
It's in tandem with what you're saying. Keep going.
Money is not the root of all evil. Money is another way to transmute your energy, because your energy is number one. Your energy is what is able to create the money in your existence. So if you're having trouble doing that, just like Soular was saying, it's because, well, you didn't say this, but I'm bridging the gap between like the frequencies you showed me, right? Because if you're constantly regarding life on a frequency of, I can't get this unless I do it this way, unless, you know what I'm saying? Unless I have to be, I think, okay, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna let you talk.
No, I hear you, and I'm about to hook you up too.
Okay.
Because you're saying the right thing, and so check this out. I channeled this. What I'm about to show you. I channeled this within 5 minutes. What I did was, and this is what started this whole thing for me. It didn't start it, but it really took it to a new level. It was like probably like just a few days after I did this where I left Carbonation, actually.
Okay.
But I channeled something. I had wrote down the numbers 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8 to leave out 3, 6, and 9 to figure out what is 3, 6, and 9. So I took them out.
Okay.
And I did 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8. And then I wanted to see what would happen if I did this. Immediately, my first thing is, well, where does the 3, 6, and 9 go? 3 would be here, 6 would be here, 9 would be here. And I'm playing around with it, but I'm just doing something. It's like I'm being guided. Oh, shit, it's ripping. Oh, no. The 8th dimension just ripped off. It's okay. I've recreated this in many times. But look at this.
Yeah.
This was all channeled within 3 minutes. Within 3 minutes, I completely rediscovered how they created Roman numerals, how the Roman numerals are a depiction of all 12 dimensions that exist, how consciousness functions in the body. Hold on. How consciousness functions in the body, where consciousness is in the body, and what the pyramid really is a symbol of. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8 to 10, which is 1 and 0, 0, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 1, 0. That is going to repeat itself forever, right? But the thing is, when you start doing 3, 6s, and 9s, you create vortexes. You start to create pinnacles and points. And I was like, interesting. So if these are taking me into a different directions of up and down, oh, wow, these are unseen dimensions. These are the frequencies. Oh, okay, I'm getting this energy, frequency, vibration thing now. All right. And they categorize themselves into different things, such as what? So, hold on. Easy. This is easy stuff. This is sloppy because I did so long ago, but I've recreated this.
I love art in this original form. You should photocopy this.
Oh, I did.
And then put it on a shirt.
Oh, yeah, I need to laminate it or something because this is forever.
That's the.
All these numbers 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8. They all match a group of 3, 6, 9. All of them match a group of 3, 6, and 9. All of those match positive, negative, or neutral. It's either a construct or it exists within the construct, or the I, which is the 3, 6, 9, 12, which is why it's unseen, because it's what's seeing. It's what you used to see, which is why it's unseen. Yeah. This is the bodies. This is the physical body. This is the mental, emotional body. This is the astral body. All three of those together, coherent into one body, is God body. That's all of them together. This is where they created Roman numeral 5. This is where you get Roman numeral 10. When you look at the pyramid from the top, it creates a X. Hold on. I'll show you. So I have it written down here. Oh, no, I have it written over here.
I'm about to roll up.
10, X, 5 is V, 1 is the line. Every 0 is a point, one of the vertexes of the pyramid. Zeros are always at the points. They're literally the points. They literally represent the points. And what do you call that? 0 point. It's a decimal. Quite literally, it's the point or the pinnacle. These are places where energies can shift in directions and pivot. They're called cardinal energies. They're also known as, they're called, what are they called? Modalities. There's 3 more modalities that energy can take. Mutable, cardinal, and fixed. Or positive, negative, and neutral.
Yeah, I've heard that in
And there's 4 elements. People say there's 5 elements, but it's really 4 elements. The 5th element is ether. The 4 elements, or ether, aka love, which is the high frequency. It's all of the elements together as one creates ether, which is the 5th element, aka love or oneness. But the 4 elements of fire, air, earth, and water, there's 4. When you have 3 modalities, that means that each of these elements can exist in at least 3 forms: solid, liquid, and gas. Solid, liquid, and gas, or plasma, which is when you go straight from solid to gas. These all exist. So you have 4 times 3, which equals 12.
Somebody asked, isn't there only 8?
Hold on. And 12 is 360. 12 is a square. 12 is 360 degrees. This is the first time you get a complete circle, which means full cipher. Means a cycle, the universe cycles at 12. Every time you get to the number 12, all of the elements have gone through all the modalities, All the alchemical
Yeah.
possibilities have taken place, and they will only repeat themselves forever now, fractally, on
I
different
love how you said
degrees
they
in the
will only
cosmos.
repeat themselves forever.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
was funny.
And so, to go with what you were
Mhm.
saying, the dollar is not bad. They're actually telling you everything. It's right here. We don't know what we're looking at. I didn't use the dollar to
Yeah.
create what I created. When I looked at it and I made what I made, I went back and realized, holy shit, that's on the dollar. It was like 2 days later, I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
that's the dollar. It has Roman numerals on it.
Yeah.
It's designed the same way I designed it. The Masons, bro, they know that consciousness exists within the pyramid. People aren't even asking,
Yeah.
why is the eye in the triangle? What is the triangle?
Yeah.
That's you. Of course we know
It's
what the
so
eye is,
funny.
but why is it in
It's
the
so
triangle?
funny. Everybody's perception is different, right? We live in different perceptional realities. Like literally we might be on the same physical plane, but if you're like everybody, when you think about it this way, everybody is a set of programming. And like for me, I had to really, my dark night of the soul happened last summer when I was at the shelter, and like the whole life that I had created, you know, based on my programming, based on how I wanted everybody to view me, right? All that shit had to crumble for me to really come to who I really am, for me to really be like, yo, to deal with the chakras. Like I lost my mom when I was young. So you know, just like not having her growing up, and then even before that, being in a 2-parent home, but having it be a very toxic emotional environment to where, as a child, you can't fend for yourself, right? Your parents are your gods, and they also teach you how to communicate. They teach you what love looks like, feels like, or doesn't feel like.
Everybody around you at that age is doing that, but yes.
Yeah, correct, absolutely. But you regard your parents differently because you really take to heart what they have to say. So if they think you ain't shit, you really gonna feel like you ain't shit. As opposed to Joe Blow down the street, he won't really affect me that deeply. You know what I'm saying? And he don't help me survive. So to a degree, I can put aside what he says, and so I only say that to say, like, you know, our parents do our best with what they have, but their intentions are different than our intentions. And sometimes they raise us the way they wish they were raised and not how we need to be raised. And so I'm evil, leave you alone. Okay, cool. So yeah, so I really had to comb through a lot of that because I had a lot of like self-confidence issues. I wasn't making the money I wanted to make. I wasn't having the friendships and relationships that I wanted to have. And I was still stuck on like trying to convince people who I am, as opposed to just being around people who let me be me. If that makes sense.
It makes sense. I mean, if you take Hitler's chart, or like we all say this, like it's funny, like if Tupac was alive today, man, the game would be way different, isn't it? We all say stuff like that because like if you was to bring the personality into a whole nother environment and setting, like fuck the parents. Like I get it, I know what you're saying, and even the fact that you're composed, you're a mixture of their personalities, so it's gonna be a special relationship there. You're being raised by everything around you. It's actually even before the parents, what's containing the parents is their environment, and the people around them is influencing how they're gonna choose to influence you as a child. So ultimately, it comes back to the environment, right? Wrong. Wrong.
Or sorry.
We just did the lesson on
the way that you interpret, the way that you interpret your environment.
If you brought
like
Hitler here today,
we're
not going to worry about his chart or his personality. We got to worry about his frequency because we know the nigga got power. We know he gonna do this.
I mean,
he can do that.
They both go hand in hand though, Soular, because your personality, even if you go through trauma, let's say, right, it can catalyst you into developing the strongest characteristic traits about yourself. Like even with you, like the shit that you allow people to see you go through, like you could see the growth. Like you could see the way that you took what you was dealt and you was like, fuck it, nah, I'm gonna choose to keep this energy over here on this spectrum to where I'll grow and I will learn, you know what I'm saying? And progress and make the best of it. And so everybody at at all times has that choice whether or not they're going to be in an upward frequency and do something positive for themselves, and people around them, or if they're going to succumb to their environment.
That's free will. That's what you're speaking on. That's the sixth dimension, obviously half of 12. Ironically, right? Half of 12 is the sixth dimension, the middle point, and that's the pineal gland. That's aka free will, or the ability to choose what frequency you're going to be in, how you're going to use this energy. And the first response to this is going to be how you look at it, which is why it's an I. So, ultimately, all the factors can exist. Consider and fathom infinity. Come up with all the situations, all the variations, and do all of that. There are still things that remain the same. What are those things? Energy, frequency, and vibration.
The sun, the moon,
and the interaction of the three.
The fire.
And the person's ability to be aware of that or not. There's some beings
Wait, sorry, repeat
on this
the three
plane,
again? Sorry, I interrupted.
not even just animals, but they're not able to consciously control that. Humans can.
Repeat the three, please.
You gonna say something?
Yeah, I said repeat the three, please. Can you hear me?
Repeat it?
Yeah, the three. You said the three. So I had interrupted you.
It's easy. Well, I'll show you something easy. I'll use your own body. I won't show you too much. We'll keep it simple. Your body exists in the third dimension, okay? But you're not only in the third dimension. You're in the sixth. You're right in between, okay? 6 is half. Okay. You're the bridge. You're right in the middle. The brow chakra 6. You even think you're seeing from this zone. Your field of view is even up here, like right here at the 6. So it's funny. Right. The third dimensional body exists where? Well, your body is not even a body. You're perceiving a body. You live in the 6th dimension. The third dimensional body is where? The cells. Your cells. That is the first level of consciousness in the human. Your cells are individually conscious, each and every one of them. That is the third dimension.
So
they are not
crazy,
playing the role that you're
playing.
They operate in a similar way because it's the same being in the same body ultimately, but they're completely individual conscious beings, each and every cell responding to their environment. That is the third dimension. They're not worried about morality. They're not worried about right or wrong. It's as animal as you can get. Your cells move like bugs. Your cells move like insects. They're not thinking, they're not emotional, they're not even really fighting or arguing. It's none of that. They're following instructions, codes. You'll see a lot of animals operate like that. It's a third dimension.
Yeah.
And then you can raise up from the third to the fourth to the fifth, which is where you get into your emotions more so, where you can build relationships, the heart space, care, and then communication. And you'll see that in like all animals. They can get to the level of care and they can form relationships with certain animals, usually mammals. And because they breathe more, they breathe air more. So things that breathe air more, they use a heart space. They have a field, so they're more energetically operating. So when you get to that space, or the fourth dimension of the heart, that's where it's more about vibes and feeling. 4, also Cancer, water, the moon, vibes. Whereas you get to, you keep going up. The 5th, this is where you get to communication. And communication can be in every way. 5th is also the sun, the ego, which is also self-expression. So there's 1,000,001 ways to communicate. Self-expression is the key, and authenticity is the highest vibration of the 5th dimension, whereas servitude is the lowest vibration of it. And then where you have the 6th dimension, or the pineal gland, this is where you live now. You are a collection of all the other stuff I just said in one. All 5 senses into a 6th sense, a center that takes all 5 senses, that literally goes right here. Your pineal gland interprets what those things were, and you project a reality in your mind, and you live in your interpretation. So what you think is outside of you is literally your interpretation of the 3rd dimension. Now, your interpretation of the 3rd dimension is affected by what? that eye. You're 6, which means that you're right in between. But from 6 to 12, we've already beat the 5 senses. This is where you get what's called ESP, or extrasensory perception. You've gone past the senses. Now you're perceiving beyond the senses. What is that? That is the ether, or the 5th element. And you'll be able to navigate the astral realm with love, which is why they'll tell you your heart must be lighter than a feather when you die, so that you're not thrown into chaos with a pep, but you can be with Horus in the boat, always conscious of the chaos. Even as you travel through death, you'll be conscious of the chaos, and you can choose to slay the chaos if you want to and stay in control of the ship. Yeah, that's beautiful. You see that these stories are very like real, but not in the sense that most people would consider to be real. Everything is showing you the way energy's flowing and the way it's supposed to flow. That Ankh right there is telling you about the 4. That's the 5 elements right there in the Ankh as well, all the way to ether. You know, and then because the shape represents what the energies and the numbers represent, it becomes a functional tool. So the actual Ankh itself becomes a functional tool, just like a crystal. Crystals become functional tools.
You want to know something crazy? So who was it? Billy Carson. I've been listening to Billy Carson too. Billy Carson said something about. Oh wait, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me like this?
Yeah. Oh, I say no. I fuck with Billy. Is what I said.
Yeah, Billy. Oh my God, it's so many instrumental foundational people. I gotta write down all of them. But basically, he was talking about how Adinkra. So these are Adinkra symbols, right?
This is what I talk about is one step before Adinkra codes. But go ahead.
Yeah,
I got you.
But these Adinkra codes, he said, well, these are only some of them, but he said Adinkra codes, basically when they're in 3D, they are error correcting codes, right? For this reality. He said that this reality is built up off Adinkra codes, but like, this shit is so wild. And then I just started drawing some of these things were just like, I just started drawing them, but then like the eye horse and stuff, I was intentionally doing research. Like I have this little digital board, and basically like even the eye cut up into the senses. So, you know, the eyebrow is thought. Thought is one of the senses: smell, sight, hearing, taste, touch. But it was so interesting that he put thought as a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like up here.
Yeah. For sure, 100%. Not everything can do that.
Yeah.
A dimension is a different measurement of something, so that means that we're extra dimensional just for that alone. Everything exists in those realities, but they're not conscious in those realities sometimes. Like they don't live there. We live in the 6th dimension, and when you go to sleep, you're in the 12th dimension. When you were speaking on the Adinkra codes, the way Adinkra code, the way they function, like this is just different codes. Why are these? See that? You see that?
Yeah.
Why are these error correcting? And there's always a point. Notice the point. It's always there. But why are these error correcting codes? Because
I don't know.
These images are generated at 369 frequencies, usually. And if they're not, like let's look at these two. Right here. 345. 4 plus 5 is 9. Plus 3 is 3. Okay, so this is what a 369 thing would make: a complete body in 3 parts. That's the code. It's 3 bodies. The number is 3. It created 3 solid bodies as one. 9 and 3. Crazy. Awesome. Cool. Let's look at this one. 1033. 3 and 3 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. That's not a 369 realm. So that means there won't be a complete body somewhere here. And you can see that.
Okay.
You see that distortion. But you can see it starting to form. But it's not solid or completely connected like this. This is full cipher. It's 3, 6, 9, or 12. It's complete. This is incomplete. You can see it's incomplete. And
then Sankofa walk in the room. That shit funny as hell. Sankofa is one of the
Oh, Sankofa? Yeah. I know a couple Sankofas. I don't know which one that one may be. But what's up, man? And so when you see these incomplete codes, right? It's letting you know at least the state of it. But if you were to alchemize this number, if you start turning the knob until this hits the next 3, 6, or 9, since it's 7, turn it up by 2, right? Which means 5 and 3 is 8 plus 1 is 9, right? Then you get it to a 9.
Okay.
I bet you these things solidify. This creates a full circle.
Connect.
These bodies create a full circle. That becomes solid. I bet you anything if you turn it up to there. Same thing here. 9 plus 2. So this is 2. So it's incomplete. But it's still there. And you can see how it's incomplete.
Yeah.
See the openings?
Yeah.
You see the openings? It's incomplete.
Yeah.
They're not solid, complete bodies. So these dimensions outside of 3, 6, and 9, they exist, but they're only together will they construct something like this.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
what was this? This was 9 and 2, and this was 7. So this is 7, and this is 2. So this is a cardinal energy, and this is a fixed energy. And if you put these two things together, 7 and 2 makes what? 9. 9. You would get a full body again if you put these together. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8, they're all necessary. They're levels towards creating that. These exist within it. Because you got to remember, they're not static. You're not static like this. You don't exist in a completely solid state. You only think you do. These are your. This is hella sand, bruh. It's hella particles of sand, and we over here talking about it like it's a thing. It's not. It's the perception, though.
Yeah, but this is the catch-22, right? Is what we're talking about, perceptional reality, right? And we each carry our own perceptional reality. Like, it's almost like, this is why people who are like lovers to you and shit like that, they are very like they hit a different part of your soul, because they basically come into the world that you're in. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially as a man, a woman is more likely to mold to the life of a man. So like, we are willing to come into your world, and we will most likely, you know what I'm saying, be able to see most of the things you show us if we're willing to. But we also carry our own perceptional reality, and sometimes that doesn't allow us into certain sectors of your world, and vice versa. So there's always going to be a gap in understanding between two people. It's just less of a gap when you're in an intimate relationship with somebody. But
so you experience that right now, but what you have to understand is that you're experiencing a disharmonic reality. So what you just described was disharmony, or two frequencies that can't resonate and exist in the same space. So if you happen to be on this, sometimes you can't receive that. Right? It's what you described. But what you got to understand is that there are the faculties of positive, negative, and the neutral. I don't care about your frequency or theirs or this or that or anything else. Self-mastery is the ability to be positive or negative at any time. The thing is, are you going this way or are you going that way? You can't serve two masters at once.
Yeah.
You're either going positive or negative. You either getting away from somebody and separating from them, or you can get closer. And getting closer to them doesn't mean like, I'm going to stand near you. Getting closer to them, now that we know it's all of the mind, is to simply think in this side of infinity that is in favor of higher frequencies. Same situation. I don't know why they're yelling and screaming, but there's probably hurt. And you never know. There's probably going to trigger the best things in them and this and that. And you can look at it like that, and now you have no longer became your own enemy. You can see somebody yelling and screaming, like, that guy's stupid. He's dumb. Watch. He's going to get beat up. He's going to do that. And you're living in that reality the whole time. You think that you're describing someone else. You're always living in your perspective. And this is the point I was getting to. And I'll wrap it up very fast so you can get it real quick. Is the thing about Adinkra codes, there's one thing that trumps them. There's one thing that trumps 1 through 9. Mr. 19 Keys. There's one thing that trumps Adinkra codes. Mr. Billy Carson, and more. The Dogons. And the Dogons didn't teach it as Adinkra codes. They just said they connected to something. That is what's important. Remember we said this isn't 3 things. This is hella grains of sand. What the real code is 0.1. From nothing to something. That is what each grain of sand is. Each grain of sand is a little 1. And the way these 1s add up and interact with each other through 9s, they cycle through 12. They cycle 1 through 9 over and over and over and over and over again. But 12 is the full cipher cycle. 3 6s and 9s will create full constructs for it to look like a complete being. So you could almost say that this would think. Or this would function. That's what you could say. This would function. These wouldn't function. They're not on 3 6s or 9s. They're incomplete. They wouldn't function. They're not an experience.
Okay.
This is an experience. 3 6s and 9s. Notice how they all mirror 0.1. But the scatter represents chaos. When you have 3, 6, and 9 realms, you can lock into 0.1 easier, because they represent points and vertexes already. These are portals. These are areas where you can connect to the ethers, where you can connect to your cells. You can talk to your cells and tell them what to do. You can control your own mind. You can listen to your own thoughts and change your own thoughts. You can go to sleep and astral travel and literally give yourself messages and dreams beyond space and time. It's still you. That's the 9th dimension. And to be aware and lucid in the dream. Just like the 6th dimension here is awake, double that. 12. That's when you're lucid in the dream. The 12th dimension. So it's not about 1 through 9. It's more about 1 through 12, because that's your first cipher till you cycle again. And then that's what's really important. And then you have 0.1 as a result of the understanding of 3, 6, 9, and 12, or 3 by 4. That's the complete code. And it will always lead you to 0.1 every single time. Every single time. 1 times 3 is 3. So 3 represents the first, the lower level, or the first one. The 2 by 3 is 6. That's the second body. Then you have 3 by 3, which would be 9. That's the 9th dimension. That's the third body. 3 by 4 is 12. That is when your cellular body is in harmony with your emotional body, is in harmony with your astral body. When they're all on the same frequency and they're complete, it's Christ consciousness. This is awareness. Yeah. This is when you can be God or God body. It's not even just about being high frequency. It's about having sovereignty of the self. Anybody who gets here is sovereignty of the self. Most people are vibrating on dissonant frequencies, though. And because of that, they're being abused. There's infiltration. There's chaos existing in there. There's a little bit of disease here and there. This doesn't know where it wants to go. It has too much that it can do. That's solid, bro. That's an experience. That's organized. It's beautiful. Adinkra codes, all 0.1 and binary code is all creating 3s. You just never see them. So 3 always is the unseen. So the real third dimension of this is actually its experience. We couldn't even know what that's like. We couldn't even know that. We'd have to watch it over time.
I think
we'd have to watch it cycle and develop.
Sorry to cut you off.
We're just not patient with ourselves.
The first image. Yeah, I agree that we're not patient with ourselves. I think the first image, if I'm to relay it to it would be to authenticity being the highest frequency, right? So to me, when you act authentically, and not act authentically, but when you are authentic in your life, in the way that you, and then also when you choose higher frequencies to function on, right, or to perceive through life, or to have that set of glasses on to where you're seeing things accurately and not through your wounds and not through your pain and not through, you know what I'm saying? Then you're able to create an authentically beautiful life. And I think that filter through, in the Bible, what do they say? They say it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a man to enter the kingdom of God. And to me, the kingdom of God is just like, is knowing yourself and knowing that you can choose what frequency to be on. And then so, you know, it takes, you basically have to say everything that happened wrong in my life is my fault. Like, this is what I did for myself last summer, is like, I had to tell myself, like, yo, everything that ever went wrong was my fault. And then that's okay because I can fix it. You know what I'm saying? I could choose what mood to be in. I could choose, you know what I'm saying, to like get over the shit that really fucked me up. And I could choose to be a villain too. I could choose to do people wrong the way they did me wrong, but I don't truly want that. So it can't, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just an interesting place to be because everybody experiences life differently. So
no, that's true. I think just like, you know, with that, yet again, you know, same thing. Personalities, 12 dimensions. You're existing in all of them. Okay, you exist in all of them all the time. But are you aware of it? Are you aware of it though? Because the awareness, more awareness, this is so easy, dude. More awareness is higher frequency. Less awareness and more separation and being slow. Oh, that nigga slow. That nigga super low. That nigga slow.
Oh my God.
His sine wave is low. His S is low. That nigga slow. Low vibration, low frequency. It's the same thing. So you exist in all 12 dimensions all the time. I mean, this is your universe that you're looking at. This isn't, there's not pieces. It's not a pizza. It doesn't come apart. It's a vortex. It's infinitely cycling and getting bigger and smaller on both directions into points. And these points are infinite pivot points into infinite realities, and we connect to all of them only from 3, 6, and 9 sections, or energy, frequency, and vibration levels. Your first body, 3, is the energy body or your cells. Your second body, 6, or frequency. That's your perception. That's your pineal gland. That's your mind. That's the heart pumping the water. That's the liquid in the body. Then you have 9, which is the, you know, the spiritual body, the astral body. This operates off of the air. They all exist together. And when you go from solid straight to gas, which they would all have to be on the same frequency for this to happen. So from 3 straight to 9, you would get what? Plasma, aka fire. This is when you're getting to the 12th dimensions. This is where you're getting to God body or awareness, complete awareness. Ultimate awareness is the goal. Basically, long story short, the reason why you're doing
think
this
ultimate awareness
is to gain ultimate awareness.
Do you think ultimate awareness is possible?
So you can have the halo on your head, so you could be like Buddha, all that. That's really the goal. They're all completely different things, but the goal is to gain ultimate awareness. Ultimate awareness is the goal. Okay? So
I like that poster, yeah, that's fine.
So what does ultimate awareness look like on paper? It looks like this.
Okay.
This is what it looks like. This is ultimate. You have been here for a long time. Do not get it twisted. But as you master your root chakra and you learn your place in this world very early as a child, you start to move on to your ego and your identity, figuring out who you are to yourself. And then you start making friends. And then you start connecting to people from that heart space. Once you get flown through the heart chakra and you start developing that as a being. Then you start communicating and doing business and connecting and building and creating and sharing with community as you get closer to oneness, until you ultimately go into the spiritual side, the indigo, the Pisces, the churches. The spiritual side. Once the community is all together, you found yourself and you've connected to the community. Now your community is going to connect to the source. To the source. So if you can do this all within yourself first, you'll know what role you're playing in humanity. Yeah. If you are not here, you know what role. You find where you are. Find where your blockage is. Find what frequency, what body is it in? Which one? Is it my physical body I need to heal? Is it my connection to spirit I need to heal? Do I need to open my heart some more? Is it these relationships I need to heal? Everybody resides somewhere here, more often than the others. If you cannot flow freely and have mastery of the whole thing as if it was one, that's God body. That's the 12th dimension. That's where you want to be. That's the contribution you'll have to humanity. If you fall off at this level, that was your contribution. And we can learn lessons from that dimension that you brought. There's nothing good or bad. All you did was shoot and kill people, I did, but there's lessons there on that frequency for that. You the god of war, bro. It's just what it is. But I'm not gonna sit here judging you for it. That, I mean, you know what I'm saying? That exists. That's allowed. Is it graceful? Not really.
That's a fact.
That's the whole point of this. It's very separated. There's a lot of resistance. It's very slow. It's very mucky. It's very hard. There's a lot more space for chaos here. It's real tight. Tighten up. It's really solid over here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's just different. So there's people who claim to be spiritual, and then there's people who can't help it. People who are connected. And then there's a reason why I say you have to be able to go back and forth is because if you're that spiritual, but you're not connected to this realm enough physically, your root chakra will be off. You wouldn't be secure. You wouldn't be safe enough to fucking meditate, bro. I don't want to be sitting in the middle of the street meditating, being burnt alive. I don't believe that that's really effective. I don't care how connected to spirit I am. I don't believe in martyrdom. I believe that that's a psyop. I believe that's a thing. And, you know, these guys who've died in the name of greatness. You don't have to die to be great. If you choose to be great, doesn't mean you're gonna die, and that's the narrative that's put out.
I think it's not even just the narrative; it's also certain people. Yeah, I think that there are unfortunate realities that happen to people, and like, it's very. Like, I can understand the different perspectives, right? Like, I can understand somebody feeling hopeless in that way because they've seen so much physical evidence of it. Like even I just recently started repairing the relationship with my, like, father, right? And, like, even though I know that we can't really have the quote-unquote, like, best, you know, father-daughter relationship.
Can't take the past away, yeah.
You can't take the past away, and you know, he like told me about certain trauma that he had, like growing up, you know what I'm saying, having to go to the army in the 19 whatever the fuck it was back then in Ethiopia, because I grew up in Ethiopia, and you know, like, yeah, so he spent time in jail. He's seen his friends die. You know what I mean? So he sees some shit. He had a gun to his head type shit. Like, he had a lot of shit happen to him, you know. And then, like,
all of that
we don't realize.
That's funny.
See, that's crazy, because to have gone through all of that shit and then still, like, you know, have to be a parent and shit. There's so many, and that's just like 3 seconds of his life. That's not even everything, you know. So it's just so intricate when you decide that you're going to choose to understand somebody versus judge them. I think that's like the most loving act.
But it's self-love to be able to learn from everything around you because you know it's
you. Yes, absolutely.
If you don't see things as you might look past it or ignore it, meaning you have less self-awareness.
Fact.
You must be at a lower frequency or further in separation. There's nothing wrong with that. The thing is, are you aware of it? If you're on that frequency, you're probably not aware of it. But if you go all the way to the end, and you go all the way through 12, and you master your energies, especially through astrology, it's a great tool to do this with. But you master yourself in all dimensions, all 12 dimensions, you can go back to these lower frequencies because you know you're not going to be trapped there. You're not stuck there. You can leave at any time.
Yeah.
You need sovereignty is what you need. You need to have real free will. People think they have free will, but they're under a program. So do you? You was programmed to be you. May I play a song?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I would show you the video. There's no video for it, so I'm just gonna play the audio.
Okay.
This is I might not play all the verses. I'll probably play like the first verse and the hook. just because it's relative, but whoo.
Let's go. Let me hear some.
This one isn't my song. But this song did a lot for me way back in the day.
Okay.
You think you're original? You ain't original. You're programmed to be you. You're a slave and you don't even know it. Shit you think of ain't even your thoughts. Let's step out the box for a minute. Yo, how do we know if God exists? How do we know it's positive? Are you the definition of an angel or the opposite? If you lost your wallet and I found it, I would not commit to stealing it. But if the tables turn, then you will pocket it. See, I've been me for so long, but I still don't know who Hobson is. How come I'm the one my teachers used to have a problem with? I show my music to different labels, they ain't too fond of it. But in the underground, I seem to get so many compliments. Say my name and it's like people get afraid and shook. But if you take a look, you'll see I'm nothing like an angry crook. I'm learning hands-on, you busy with your place and books. I'm here to benefit the world, so heaven's where we're safely put. I'm not a devil, not speaking in tongues. I just want to touch your heart, I try to reach it in songs. I'm from where a child's future's on the streets with the bums. Because it's hard to become something so unique where I'm from. When the sun's down, nocturnal rainbow soaring in the air so high. It may seem so that I can't see, but the darkness provides the light for me. I don't wanna be lonely, but the moon is my only homie. If there's a higher power, then show me, instead of nocturnal rainbows. Obama's president, so what's it represent? Just because the niggas half black don't mean he's heaven sent. You're clueless to evidence, and all the minds he's messing with. His charming smile hasn't got my ass about this death and shit. Frontin' like he's truly Jesus, and all you fools believe it. The change he's making isn't good, that's just how you conceived it. It's like we all broken than ever. It's due to reasons dealing with self-beneficial plans and the movement he's with, Illuminati, or whatever the fuck they go by. They're the reason weird shit happens, and we don't know why. Why did Michael Jackson start his tour then have to go die? How did rap music go from really good to so dry? Real artists get shelved and whack ones get famous. To leave masses brainless, a smart mind is dangerous. And their rise, there probably ain't no real shit in your playlist. You just a product of what the government has created. When the sun's down, nocturnal rainbow soaring in the air so high. It may seem so that I can't see, and the darkness provides the light for me. I don't wanna be lonely, but the moon is my only homie. If there's a higher power, then show me, instead of nocturnal rainbows.
Yo, he keeps going. That song is fire. Like, y'all go check that out.
I need that on my playlist, like,
that was,
right
like,
now.
9 years ago.
What is it called? I need that.
It's called Nocturnal Rainbows by Hobson. And he has all of his music is exceptionally good. All of it. I mean, to this day.
I just screenshotted that.
Yeah. So he just keeps his frequency, but just Hobson did a lot. He woke up so many people that
I can imagine.
It's just so funny how open he is, how the media has approached him, and how, you know, because of the music and the people like him. He got 8.9 million without any label or any support on that song. It's like,
wow.
Oh no, like, bro.
That's
and
crazy.
He let us know exactly what happened when, you know, these bigger corporations started to approach him about his music. I mean, it's the same thing as like creating free energy. The gas company's gonna hit you up in some way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna be like, what is you doing? The fuck?
Hey, bro, that's not the direction we going in right now. You know, and it's so funny. Hobson has a very interesting story. He's still, you know, he's a very interesting cat. He like me. He just live in the jungles. He got out the city, started living in the jungles. He did like Thailand and stuff though, hanging out with monkeys.
There you go.
And stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you think like
the
that.
best.
Because the world that you're in, like, that's supposed to be everywhere. The reason why I have such good Wi-Fi and signal here, and the towers are right over there. But the thing is, what you gotta understand is that the trees, all of the trees, they dissipate the interference heavily. Like, not only do trees take the carbon that we exhale and give us back oxygen, Not
Yeah.
only do they take our pee and poop and give us fresh fruit and juices with
Yeah.
vitamins and minerals that we need, but trees also work with EMFs, magnetic frequencies, or the fields. And so these towers with all these trees around, look, I got little shields. You see my little shields? Got my little shields at
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
gates.
Yeah.
At the gates, alive.
Okay.
Because they're
Yeah.
literally absorbing the interference before it gets to me. They're taking
Right.
away that interference frequency and making it more, bringing the voltage down basically more towards 0.1, which is where we want to
Right.
be. At 0.1.
Yeah.
When you're at 0.1, like if you touch this space, your heart space, anything that you touch you become aware of. So people have these practices where they tap things and things like that. Like
Okay.
seriously, like even if you rub your own head, you'll start feeling
Yeah.
sensations
I do that all the
you
time.
like have not felt. Like, so I'm serious. When you touch different parts of your body, you bring awareness to it. If you're sick, your stomach hurts, oh, you put your hand there. It's a healing mechanism.
Yeah.
You rubbing your stomach,
Yeah.
you trying to heal it. It's energy work. All of it's Reiki.
Right. Facts.
Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah.
That's so funny.
Sensations, touching yourself, tapping yourself, the heart, that's right. So when you touch your heart and you tap into that space and you want to heal that space, what it does is it resonates with the brain. You become aware of the heart space. And when the heart and the
Yeah.
brain line up and sync together again,
Yeah.
the frequency you create is 0.1. It's neutral. And this is where you heal. It's not even like, it's ironic that it's 0.1 when 0.1 is 0 point energy, the infinite energy source. It's not even
Yeah.
the shapes that the sand was making. It's like the sand, nigga. The sand,
Can I ask you
all of the
something?
sand is one. And none of the
Yeah.
sand, the black, the pan behind it, the surface it's on, that's the zero.
Yeah.
The point
You know what's
would
funny
be
is that
if you were to be that, if you were that image experiencing things, if you were that image, that in that being in those three dimensions, which you are, you're the point between the 0 and the 1. You're the point. And if you move that point,
okay.
if you move that point around, it can be the same code. Every time you move that point, you're changing your perspective. But the code is the same.
Yeah.
But you're allowed to change the perspective by decimals, by levels of 10, 1 through 9. Oh, here's one cycle, here's another cycle.
Exponentially.
And you can scale
Yeah.
through your entire life at a high frequency if you move that decimal the right way. If you go the other way, it's the same life, it's the same you, it's just the point
Right.
or your perspective is going that way instead. So it's a choice. You can raise the value of life or you can lower it. Which direction is the point going in? Is the decimal going in? The code is the code is your life. It's you. You don't even need to worry about
Right.
changing that. Don't worry about changing the numbers, changing the codes, or changing dimensions. You don't need to worry about that. Worry about navigating through them. Because that's ultimately what's going to be relevant. It exists. You will never experience nothing. You will experience infinity. So you might as well and get with it. I'm serious.
And with that, now I'm laughing because you're right. I have the
That's
infinity
what this is for.
tatted on my thigh. Yeah, it's being willing to like know that all answers lie within you, and there really is no wrong answers. You just have to be willing to follow through. And I want to say like thank you for your time and your energy. I gotta go because I gotta get ready
Me
for
too.
work and shit. But it was such a pleasure to meet you and have these conversations. I look forward to connecting in the future and shit. The universe is always working in your favor even when it don't feel like it type shit. So
You cool. We'll talk some more.
likewise. Yes.
Hit me up
Have a
on
great
IG
day.
or something.
Yeah, I followed you already. Just follow me back. It's House of Synergy.
Okay, bet.
I'll type it for you in the because Synergy is spelled differently. So
Yeah, send me your name on there so you show up quick.
I'll put it. Okay,
House of
I'll
Synergy.
send
I
it
got
to
you,
you
I
in
got
your DM though. Okay. All right, bet.
All right,
See you
this
later.
was fun. All right, y'all. I'm about
was.
to get up out of here too. Okay, we're gonna get our day started. This is how we started our day. If y'all don't know me or not, I do this 24/7. It's just sometimes I turn the camera on. Let me screenshot. Sometimes I turn the camera on. That's it. So, hey, Scorpion, I see you in there, Scorpion. I see you, Scorpion. I see you, Roxy. Synergies, Marquise, I see you. Pimp Smack was in it. Queen Sexy, Melanated Queen, and Miss Thang. Hey, that's what's up. We had some fun. I do this all the time. Let's just see when I turn the camera on.